Hello, friends. Matthew Zachary here. You know, you've been told that the American healthcare system is broken. It isn't. It's working exactly as designed. Delays, denials, dehumanization. For decades, it's been profits over patients. You need proof? What's the first question they ask you? What insurance do you have? That tells you everything. And it isn't just big health insurance. It's the American Medical Association. It's labor unions. It's employers, politicians from both sides, and even the IRS. Yes, the IRS. They built it this way. And now it's time we, the patients, rig the system in our favor. Here's the prescription. We, the patients, understanding, navigating, and surviving America's healthcare nightmare. My new book by me, Matthew Zachary, a 30-year brain cancer survivor, the founder of Stupid Cancer, the host of this podcast, Out of Patients, and co-founder and CEO of We the Patients. Pick up your copy of We the Patients today wherever books are sold, or visit wethepatientsbook.com to learn more.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Hello, friends. Welcome back to the show. My guest today is Dr. Jessica Peatross, a conventionally trained physician who basically looked around the hospital system one day and said, wait a second, why does everyone keep getting sicker? And honestly, fair question. Jess worked as a hospitalist for years. I found out what that word meant. She did the rounds, followed the protocols, prescribed the meds, checked the boxes, and lived inside the machinery of modern healthcare. And then she started realizing that a shocking number of chronically ill patients only seemed to improve after they stopped relying exclusively on the system that was supposed to help them. So we get into all of it here. Mold exposure, chronic illness, functional medicine, another term that I learned today, why patients leave appointments feeling completely insane after being told their labs are normal while their lives are falling apart. Jess understands the actual system because she worked inside it. She knows how doctors get trapped, how hospitals think, and how patients slowly lose trust after enough 7-minute appointments where nobody looks up from the laptop long enough to acknowledge the human being sitting 3 feet away. If you've ever felt dismissed, over-medicated, confused, exhausted, or quietly abandoned by modern healthcare, stick with us. This show is one for the books. My name is Matthew Zachary. This is Out of Patients. Let's get started. My producer is Kyle. He's not with us. I mean, he's alive. That sounded terrible. Kyle's alive. Kyle's amazing. He's been producing my show for many, many years now. He edits the show.
Great.
So it's non-linear if you want to cough or say something else, or I said my boyfriend's name wrong, things like that.
Okay.
But you can't because it's Matthew.
Right. How could I forget?
Yeah, I know, exactly. All right. And it's Peatross.
Peatross.
The emphasis is on that syllable.
Right, but it was probably Peatross back when I came off the boat from Greece. So.
Yes. Wait, how many agos was off the boat for you?
My dad was my granddad was from Greece, and my dad is first generation.
So you're second generation.
Yeah.
Are you fluent though?
No, not really. I
Okay.
can say a few words here and there. My granddad taught me when he passed away. I just quit speaking.
Can you curse in Greek at least? A little bit?
Are you wanting me to curse in Greek?
Can you? Should you? I can curse in Yiddish. It's
Can
great.
you?
Yeah.
Say something.
This is not as much of a curse as a curse.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Mit deinen Schoches kann ich tanzen mit zwei Chassanis.
It sounds very beautiful for a curse.
It's a throaty thing. You
Yeah.
gotta do like popcorn stuck.
Exactly. It's
So the Jews always ask the Greeks, was my big fat Greek wedding nonfiction?
Yeah, it was more of a documentary,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's more non-fictional, absolutely.
Like the tool to eat something. Was that your family growing up?
Yeah, I mean, really, and everyone, lamb was not meat. Everything else was meat.
That's the best line. Oh,
Yeah.
you eat no meat? Okay, I make lamb.
You make lamb. It's good. Yeah. And then every Windex on everything.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
We're kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I have a lot of Indian friends and Greek friends, and it's the same culture. Food, guild, loud.
Yeah, big, huge families.
Dancing, yes.
Dancing. You can't leave out dancing.
Exactly.
We break plates, though.
Yes. Yeah, we don't break. We're very, we're cheap. We don't want to break our plates.
Yeah. Right. Makes sense.
Penurious people.
Plates might be nicer,
Yes,
I get it.
exactly,
Respect.
exactly.
Yeah.
I read you're a gymnast. Was that true?
Back in the day.
Tell me all about
yeah,
it.
Back in the day. Wow, interesting question. So yeah, back when I was younger, my sister and my mom enrolled us in gymnastics, and we used to do balance beam and bar, and floor routine was my favorite. So yeah, vault, all that stuff.
You're like a Mary Lou Retton fan?
Yeah, she was cool back in the day when I was a kid. Nobody could beat Mary Lou Retton.
No.
Come on. I mean, now it's so Gabby, right? So,
Right.
yeah.
Or Simone Biles.
Oh, Simone Biles. Yes,
Yeah.
there you go. That's her name. Simone Biles. So she's amazing,
By
right?
the way, I don't know why I know that.
I was pretty impressed you knew that. She's literally the greatest of all time. So.
Well, the space in my brain where the tumor was is filled with Play-Doh, and on occasion it channels knowledge.
Interesting. You can pick up a piece of knowledge in that Play-Doh goo sometimes here and there, I guess.
The synapses have the mind of their own, literally.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
fire through Play-Doh. It's okay.
So how'd you go from, did you want to be a gymnast? Like, was that, you're like, I'm going to do this for my life? Or you?
I wasn't quite as good as I wanted to be. I'll be honest. I was a kid and I loved it. I was good and I could do handsprings and tucks and things like that. But I wasn't like someone who was national competition level like I really wanted to be honest.
Then when you realize, like, I'm never going to be that good.
Right.
I'll be good enough. Let them be that good.
Yeah. I mean, my sister was better than me, to be honest.
Then they are. You were knocked out of the pen.
I was like not
Done.
even running. I was not even the best Peatross. Yeah.
Best. How many Peatrosses were there growing up?
There was me and then my sister and then the youngest, my brother.
So the three of you.
Yes.
And I assume like gymnastics was not his thing.
No, not at all. But he was Fast Freddy. So he was the fastest kid on the D League football team.
It's like Dash from the Incredibles.
For what it counts. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, how small? I keep reading small town from small. I know what small towns are. I've been to towns that are an intersection with a post office. What was your small town?
Mine was Huntington, West Virginia. And this is in the most southwestern corner of West Virginia, like 10 minutes from Kentucky, 10 minutes from Ohio. So in the tri-state area, I grew up there. It's where Marshall University is, which if you ever saw the movie We Are Marshall with Matthew McConaughey,
yes.
That's about my hometown.
Okay.
Yeah, so the whole football team died in a plane crash in like 74 there. So it was this big headline news, biggest thing that probably happened in Huntington.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's also one of those cities that was like in the opioid world, right?
Yeah, that's the other claim to fame, sadly, unfortunately. Yeah, they actually made a Netflix documentary about my hometown. It was heroin with an E in parentheses at the end because it was about a female EMT worker who was saving people from overdoses all over the town. And yeah, it was on the way down from Detroit down to Mexico on the drug run. So we were right in the way. And I got out just in time, to be honest with you. A lot of my friends and my family's, my sister and brother's friends passed away from overdoses that we personally know. It really ravaged the town. Like I barely recognize it anymore.
Yeah, and that's a scar that lives with you forever.
It's terrible. Yeah, you go back and you're like, man, I'd love to help these people and help this town, but you have to judge where it is. Are they ready for the help? Do they want it? It's sad.
And as much as they can get all this money out of the Sacklers, it doesn't fix anything.
Ooh, the Sacklers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it doesn't fix anything because really, in my opinion, the real treatments are still being withheld or on a Schedule 0 with no medicinal benefit.
Right. Go figure.
Yeah, imagine.
I remember the cannabis conversations in the 90s and 2000s in the cancer space, and like people were getting arrested for just trying to not throw up.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like it's a plant that grows on the planet from God.
Yes.
We're going to make it illegal because, let's make rosemary illegal. I don't know.
But the origins, why? We're going to drift a little bit. Why it was scheduled? Because of racism.
Exactly.
Oh, the jazz singers that they took the black community and said, oh, it's their fault. Now we have to ban it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's terrible what they did. And they made them, I think, if I remember properly, if my memory serves me, there was some sort of coin or some sort of piece of like something the government made that they had. If they had it, they could have cannabis legally. But if they didn't have these coins, they particularly didn't make enough of them on purpose.
Right.
So they couldn't get their hands on them so they could arrest people.
Yeah, this is a plug from my friend Joe Dolce's book called Brave New Weed. Mm-hmm. It's the origins of the racism that started scheduling. So listeners, Brave New Weed, go check it out.
Yeah.
It really is one of the seminal books that explains all the crap and where it started from rich white assholes, pretty much.
Amen to that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
No, not all white men are rich assholes, and not all rich white men are assholes, but there are plenty of rich white assholes.
yeah, that's right. And they're usually older men for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this, again, goes back to I also read a story, something happened when you were 17, but a car wreck, your friend.
Yeah, that was actually a big turning point in my life, I would say. When I was 17, we were on these windy West Virginia roads. And
Are there any straight roads in West Virginia?
No, it's really mountainous, actually. It's crazy. And when you're on the roads, the speed limit's 55, and you're like, how the heck is this legal speed limit? It feels like I'm going like 15 miles over the speed limit. That's how it is. So, yeah, we were on this curvy West Virginia road after a Marshall University football game. I was 17. And I was with two of my best friends, and a guy that was from a neighboring school was driving. And I remember I had a curfew. I had to be home at a certain time.
Curfews, wow.
Yeah.
Not when the lights turned on?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I had strict parents. My dad was a preacher and a missionary. I couldn't get away with anything.
Yep.
So he sped up to 80, and the right side of the front wheel dropped off the road. He overcorrected and jerked it back on the road. I can kind of picture sometimes being up on two wheels when I think about it on either side as we were kind of screeching across the road.
Not in the cool way.
No, in a terrifying way for sure. And then we hit the hillside, roll across the road, rolled down an embankment, hit a telephone pole. So we all broke our backs. I was the only one that didn't have to have surgery, and someone is still paralyzed from the waist down from that car accident. So it was absolutely terrible. In fact, I switched high schools over it because it was such a traumatic experience.
So you were not Marshall.
Well, that was the university.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was still Marshall, but definitely didn't stay at the same high school.
Got it.
At that point. Yeah. Yeah.
I always ask anyone that goes into medicine, I am a firm believer that it's all done with the best of intentions.
Yes.
Hippocrates, the oath. I work very heavily in the burnout space. I'm a spokesperson for moral injury as a patient advocate. I'm in a documentary film that I plug in every show called Suck It Up, Buttercup, which you would love. It's all about how private equity is destroying rural health and how insurance companies are basically causing people to want to kill themselves.
It's the worst thing out there. Yeah. So
you go in for the best of reasons. Odds are most of the time, ideally, you're doing something very fulfilling. You're seeing people, you're helping, you're doing what it's supposed to be. No one wants to be your patient, but when they're there, you're there. Yeah. But this country has devolved in such a way that makes it almost beyond untenable to maintain the ability to practice medicine. What made you go into this? Because things were very different back in those days. And there wasn't that many days ago for that matter. We're not talking the 1840s with ether. You chose this path.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We weren't using leeches when I started medical school or anything, but I was still a few years back, like you said. And just for everybody out there, I went to medical school from 2002 to 2006 and then residency from 2006 to 2009. And back then, I drank everything they told me like the Kool-Aid. I mean, I was all about it. I got my flu shot every year. I did all their little health screenings. I thought it was fine to discharge people on 40 different medications because, I was a hospitalist. So that means I was the quarterback of the team.
Right.
I had to do the history and physicals. I did the discharging. All the paperwork was up to me.
Actually, wait, let's unpack that for the listeners. Yeah. A hospitalist.
Yeah.
Explain the job description.
For sure. So what happened is medicine got so busy, the primary care doctors couldn't go in and see their patients in the hospital that when they were admitted, while they still had outpatient patients to see in clinic. So they started hiring groups of doctors that were hired by the hospital to say, when my patients have to go to the hospital, I want this hospitalist group or this group of doctors to take care of them for their inpatient stay and then return them to me when they're done in the hospital. And so all these hospitalist groups were hired by hospitals, told what to do by hospitals, by administrators. And so, basically I had to know something about everything. I admitted everything except acute surgery, basically. And so, diabetic comas, heart attacks, sepsis, that was on me. Yep.
Just a day in the life.
Yeah. So I consult out as needed, right? Consult specialist as needed, but I was the quarterback of the team.
Does that audit your autonomy to practice medicine?
You mean just being in a hospital alone?
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. Your hands are tied. If people come in there, I've had patients come in there a little bit more crunchy who wanted vitamin C for something. You cannot get it. You cannot have it in the hospital. So yeah, there's a lot of things that are tied. My hands are tied. I was part of the electronic medical record that came up where we stopped having paper charts and putting everybody's health records and medicines in the computer, in the EMR. And I can remember training for that. It was like you could order an oil change on there, basically. It was everything. And, you couldn't advance in the chart unless you had certain things clicked. So they're tying your hands for what you have to answer, what you have to make sure the patient has done or not done, right? And so you can't move forward in that patient's chart until you follow the rules through that electronic medical record.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have an ethics violation for actually helping them.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So when an informed patient comes to you and asks maybe a non-allopathic question about, whatever this is, and you have the answer or you want to be giving them, you're serving Hippocrates, do no harm. I can tell you this to help you out, but you can't. Are there innuendos? Are there life hacks in the way that you've figured out? Or have you just said better to ask for forgiveness and permission?
Yeah, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, for sure. And, there are certain times I've closed the door and I've told the patients, you need to go here and do this. But to be honest with you, Matt, I really wasn't awakened to that back then. I believed everything they taught me when I was in the hospital because the way I work is if I see something wrong with it, I can't stay. It pulls at my heartstrings so much that I have to leave that situation.
You and your ethics. Come on.
I know.
What's wrong with you?
I'm so annoying. I know. And so for me, I didn't believe that way then. So, I can really remember this one patient that came in, this young girl, and she had postural orthostatic tachycardic syndrome. Her heart was just pounding away.
A lot of syllables there.
Yeah.
It's just like
POTS.
fast. Oh, POTS. Okay, I've heard of POTS.
Sure. Yeah, have you? Okay.
Yeah, I would have said break down the acronym, but you went with the actual words first.
Yeah, POTS, if everyone's out there listening, which means you can stand up too quickly, you can get too heated, too stressed out, your heart rate can go up, your blood pressure can go down, you feel like you're going to pass out. And she was pleading with me, please, I'm not crazy. It's not a medication. This is Lyme disease. I have Lyme disease. And back then, I was still just a conventional doctor I listened to her and I didn't discredit her. But I didn't really know how to handle it back then. I wasn't awakened to these things.
Well, Lyme disease is always like that invisible. But you look great.
Yeah, you don't look sick, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that a lot from people.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So then we start to get into the part of the conversation where everything kills you and then you die, right? This is America. This is the planet. Like my daughter, she's 16, super hyper science nerd, found this video, and it talks about how we're the only species on Earth that's not equipped to live on the planet. The sun tries to kill us. Pollen tries to kill us. Everything tries to kill us. And we're smart enough to fight back against the things that are just natural on the planet trying to kill us. Mold and spores and all these things that exist. No other animal takes Flonase, right?
Right.
What was your epiphany? When did that moment happen where you're like, there's more to this than meets the eye?
Yeah, honestly, this is going to sound a little ludicrous, but I guess it's the light side of social media. So when I was a hospitalist...
Wait, there's a dark side?
Maybe
Educate me.
Right. I'm like, maybe I've seen different things on social media. So anyway...
I'm still on MySpace. I don't know about you.
Just friends with Tom.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say, when I was in the hospital, I really started to get on social media. And I started to use like Instagram as almost like a blog. I needed a blog space. But I would, instead of posting pictures just for pretty things for people to look at, I'd start educate people. And it was back in the day where there weren't algorithms. You could go really fast. And so I started
the heyday.
Yeah, the heyday. It was really easy back then. And I started to form like a community with like-minded people. And I would just think they were making ludicrous claims online. And then I would go look up what they were saying about health, and I would be humbled as a doctor because they would know more about, say, not physiologically about the body, but maybe like the overall picture of what it takes to keep someone well. Or they would make what I thought was an outlandish claim about an herb or something that I hadn't been taught, because you see that and you're like, well, I should know that. I'm a doctor. But they didn't teach us that. So I really started to pick up on, wait a second, this isn't making sense. And then I started giving cards in Oregon as a doctor, cannabis cards, to people who were in pain or had cancer. And one person comes in there with a bag of supplements or pharmaceuticals and says, I'm off all these medications and drugs. Okay, great. Good for you. But when it's person after person after person, you start paying attention.
It's a pattern.
Yes. And I pride myself on being a pretty good pattern recognition person. So I literally was like, why would they not teach us about this? Why would they tell us this is a drug with no medicinal benefit? And these people are coming in here in front of my eyes. I'm not going to deny what I'm seeing and what they're telling me. And so I've decided, the one difference in me is I decided to believe the person in front of me instead of a peer-reviewed paper.
Well, if you really want to go non-conspiracy, but actual facts, the American healthcare system is based on profits.
That's
and
right.
if it doesn't make money, why tell you? And you're not allowed to tell them because then you'll give them something that doesn't make money. So you're not incentivized to practice Hippocrates on day one. I get break fix and knee scrapings and primary care. We need that stuff. No one's going to say, if you need a cast on your arm, there's no herb for
That's
putting a
right.
cast on your arm. Allopathic science, all sorts of stuff. But you're right in the hypermedication that we've funneled into in this country.
They've done great with emergency medicine.
Yes.
Not so great with chronic health issues. Not so great. On certain things, maybe here or there, but I'm telling you right now, root cause functional medicine actually can reverse things I was never taught could be reversed in conventional medicine. So
I want to spend the second half of the show deconstructing root cause.
Yeah.
I think it's become just as, I don't know, like a platitude like patient advocacy. It means nothing. Mental health, it means nothing. They're just two words, like a George Carlin, like shell shock. It means nothing because we have to understand how it sits into your life in this moment right now. Because ideally, in a utopia, which this is not, but we do our best, you should be entitled to know the shit that's best for you. But how is that functionally possible?
So you mean make it practical for people?
Yes.
Right.
I didn't go to Cancer University to know what to do when I got sick 5 years later. Right. Just like I didn't go to China to learn herbology to do we don't do these things. Right. How can it be delivered to us in a way that's trustworthy? And that's the number one issue we both agree on. Trust is gone. Gone.
Oh, gone. Yeah. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, you really have to be, if you're really good at your trade, you should be able to break it down to anyone, even a toddler in some instances. You should be able to break down very complex medical ideas so the layperson can understand it. For example, a lot of these ICD-10 or 11 codes that are found in the hospital that insurance companies bill, they give you these codes so they can label you and give you a pharmaceutical. That's the point of this. And so a lot of those labels people think are root cause because this is what the conventional medicine system has taught us. I'm here to tell you that like sarcoidosis is an autoimmune condition is not root cause. Hashimoto's is not root cause.
It's symptomatic.
This is the body saying there's an issue going on, something's amiss, something is being miscommunicated, misfired in the body. But that is not, for me, root cause is not giving you like Armour thyroid or Synthroid and telling you have a nice life because this is how your thyroid's going to act and this pharmaceutical is going to make the numbers look pretty the rest of your life.
Right.
So root cause for me, you mentioned one of them earlier, is something like mold, parasites, environmental toxins, trauma, including childhood trauma that really hardwires people a certain way. Nervous system dysregulation is a huge one. And things like I said, environmental toxins, this includes heavy metals, this includes plastics, pesticides, phthalates, all these different industrial man-made chemicals.
That are delicious in hamburgers.
They are delicious. This is the problem.
Yeah, I
they
know.
taste better than good things.
They
They've
do.
literally addicted our brains with chemicals. Yeah. So I agree with you. It tastes much better. And this is part of the problem in America.
Well, on that note, let's take a quick break and we'll come back. I want to talk about this root cause idea and how you can try to not die.
Let's
Okay?
not die.
We'll
Yeah.
be right back. American healthcare always looks at what's happening to you in the moment and not necessarily what's causing it to happen in the first place. Everything is a Band-Aid. Unless, of course, you scrape your knee, here's some Bactroban, go off on your way, right? Here's some fungus, here's a cream, go away. There's things that are very easily transactionally understood. It makes sense. Thank you, modern medicine.
Yep.
But at the same time, yes, we hear inflammation all the time, right? Everything is inflammation. But what does that really mean? And if you're just a schmemp on the street that just wants to feel a little better, how do you even know where to go? So let's talk about what you mean by root cause and how an average high school educated person can wrap their head around that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the body either has something inside of it that doesn't belong there. or it's missing something that it needs to run all its reactions. And that's really as simply put as it can be. So when the body is missing something, it kind of hits a roadblock with some of the cascade of neurotransmitters or hormones or whatever you need, energy. And if it's, there are things inside people that don't belong there, which is all of us. These are ubiquitous in the environment. You cannot avoid environmental toxins. You can't. So you have to say, if something comes into me every day and sticks inside my body, how do we get it out? We sweat, we poop, our liver and bile processes stuff, right? Our lungs breathe it in and breathe it out. So we have these things called detox pathways. And when people tell me they can't go to the bathroom or they don't sweat in the sauna, they feel like they're going to pass out. Or
wait, you don't sweat in a sauna?
No, there are certain people who tell me they glisten and they think it's a good thing. And I'm like, that's not good.
No.
It's not good for you. So once these start to get stagnant or backed up, then things come inside you and they don't leave. And after a while, you have a bucket, like a toxin bucket inside you that fills up. And when you reach your brink of toxins, trauma, man-made pathogens and man-made toxins, then it starts to overflow. You get a label or a diagnosis. So the body is this miraculous thing that's always trying to heal us. And I truly believe that. I do not think we are broken. I think the body is perfect and we live in a very toxic society and environment.
I agree with that because homeostasis is a real thing. Nature corrects itself all day, every day. That is basic evolutionary biology.
Whew, that was beautiful.
I agree with you.
Yes.
On that. So yeah, you eat something and just swell up. Your body's like, nope. But someone's going to say, oh, you need this.
Yeah. And that's the thing is inflammation is not bad when it's acute inflammation. It's short-lived. It's the body's way of waving the white flag and saying, hey, we're under attack. Do you see this?
Yeah.
Call the troops in.
Or don't do that again.
Yeah, don't do that again. Right. Learn your lesson.
Yeah.
Right. Here, we're calling an army in to help protect you called the immune system. Right. So really, when people feel sick, they need to understand it's their own body that's doing that. It is not the pathogen. It is not the toxin. It is your own body seeing a problem, setting off the fever to burn it out, swelling you up to push it out. Right. Making you throw up or have diarrhea to get something out of the body. That is your body's natural immune defense system. So when we block that pathway.
But it's good when that happens because it's helping you not die.
That's right. Exactly. So, when the problem is when we have inflammation in the unchecked button position, right? So your body is like hyper vigilant. It's stuck in the on position. So there's chronic, constant inflammation in the body. And that's when you see people that can't lose weight. They have brain fog. They have fatigue. They have joint pains. And these issues.
You know me, don't you?
Oh, I'm calling you out. Uh-oh.
Dear lower back.
Yeah. So, and there are certain things that I can pinpoint by the questions I ask to find out, hey, there's always some sort of antecedent or trigger or trauma that leads to a physical label or diagnosis here. And if I can spend more than 10 minutes with a patient and maybe an hour and a half I spend with them to find out, hey, where are you from? Where are you going? What are you looking to do? When did this start? What happened before this started? And then it's almost like Sherlock Holmes in your health, right?
Yeah.
You have to pattern recognize and see, I've seen this before. What does this mean? I've seen this trigger before. What this label, I've seen this. So it's really about being a good practitioner and being astute, listening to people, figuring out what the timeline was, and then tracing back and asking questions that might lead to a pathogenic invasion or some other toxin that's there that shouldn't be there.
Do you think that society and the advancement of just technology has just made us a weaker species?
That's a good question.
We Purell ourselves to death. We don't move around anymore. Everyone sits in a chair. Have we just become the antithesis of what our evolution was intending?
I love this question because...
Has anyone ever asked it?
Not this way.
Okay, good.
And it's great because really what nature intended, what the creator intended was we get up and we live in the etheric plane. We get up and we work with animals. We put our feet on the ground. We're out in the sunlight, the natural light a little bit. We're breathing air in the outside, not indoor all day. And then you know what? You're really working your body hard. So you're not in your mind the whole time. Right? But you know what everybody else is doing? We get up and we live digitally. We live in the astral plane. So we don't get out and we put our feet on the ground. We don't touch animals anymore like we used to.
Right.
And so we're literally on our phone, diverging our focus on our phone the whole time. And so this makes people sick. We're stressed out by what ifs, by our boss, by these matrix problems, 9 to 5 at work that aren't even real.
Right.
If we were out in nature, it would be working our body a different way, but we'd be out of our mind. So yes, the one common theme I see with chronically chronically ill people is they are all up in their head and they're not connected to their body.
Right.
They are disconnected. They have no idea what's going on in their body, and they're constantly like a dog with a bone trying to figure stuff out up in here with their health anxiety.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the theories that we did this to ourselves.
Yes.
And it's not our fault, but it's our fault.
Yes, we agreed to it.
Because we just became users
Yes.
of a system that made our lives easier. But by making our lives easier, it took the animal out of us.
We're not wild anymore.
No.
And that is the absolute heaviest truth there is. And we decided a long time ago that instead of staying home and taking care of our families and working the land and tilling the land and being hard with our bodies but getting the yields from the earth, that we decided to go make money for someone else in a 9-to-5 job and leave our family at home. It's really interesting. It's not health.
But it's the whole planet, too.
Oh, it's the whole
Our
planet.
entire species has evolved to be what nature didn't intend it to evolve into. So how do we deal with the fact that this is just the way it is now?
You know, it's almost like a process of remembering and unlearning, in my opinion. It's kind of what's happening right now. Like, I do believe we're in the middle of a great awakening right now in consciousness with humans.
Yeah.
We really are. I can see it. And
I'm aware of that. Get it?
Yes, I am. You're aware of your awareness. Hey, that's the first step right there,
I see your awareness and I raise your awareness.
I love it. Let's see what I can do. So yeah, you know, I think that in the middle of this awakening that we're going to have to turn our back on many old systems that no longer serve us, because we can't try and fix a lot of this nonsense. You really have to build something better so it becomes obsolete. I truly believe that. And so that's what's happening a little bit in healthcare, a little bit in, I'm hoping, education. Although, you know, let's be honest, apocalypse, it doesn't mean end of the world. It means lifting of the veil in Greek. And so we're starting to see what's wrong.
I just either Skynet's going to get us. We can have the AI conversation, but I think Skynet's going to get us. I want to ask you, actually, let me ask you, the kill, bind, sweat method.
Yes.
Very interesting 3 words to put in that order.
That sounds like an S&M doctor, I know.
I know, like KBS. It's like ASRM, KBS, BDSM. Why not? Great acronyms. What is this method you've put together?
I know, it's a little spicy. Yeah. Okay, so I do this like last in my protocol with people, because first and foremost, when I see somebody who comes in chronically ill, I have an order of operations with them. I first have to get them a little bit back in homeostasis. You have to be sleeping a little bit better. You have to be going to the bathroom. You have to be sweating, all that stuff. So, and then whenever I get them that way, I calm their nervous system. Can you get into rest and digest? That's the only place you can heal, honestly. And then next is kill, bind, sweat. So this is the detox portion of it. And if I get the other two right with their detox pathways, their nervous system, I can half the time for a detox and killing. So kill, bind, sweat is really taking herbal antimicrobials. Things like maybe you've heard of oil of oregano or wormwood, cat's claw, things like that.
I couldn't do oregano. It burned my throat.
It's very spicy.
Yeah.
It is. And it's not for everyone, for sure. So then waiting about 30 to 60 minutes afterwards and taking a binder of your choice, which is a molecularly sticky molecule that helps to bind up industrial toxins, heavy metals.
Like a sponge.
Exactly like a sponge. That's exactly what it's like. And then you can get to a sauna. And what this does is it helps to activate the immune system through heat shock pathways, heat shock proteins. So when you think of proteins that call for the wrong genes, they're all misfolded. So when the heat actually helps them unfold and refold properly again. And this really helps Alzheimer's patients. You can also sweat out things. There's been a number of small studies that show you can sweat out heavy metals. You can sweat out PCBs. You can sweat out a lot of these industrial man-made toxins like pesticides. So that's a really great way to turn on our immune system and to get rid of things that don't belong in our body.
But they're just going to wind up back there anyway, right? Is this something that becomes part of living as a species? You got to wring the sponge every couple of months?
Yes, I like that. Wring the sponge. That's good. I've never heard anybody say that. But
that's your next book.
Yeah, it's just like, I like that. Yeah, wring the sponge. People are like, what's Dr. Jess talking about? So yeah, but when you go to Asian...
I know this weird bald Jewish guy in Brooklyn. He had this thing he said on the show one day.
Matt got it for me. That's right. Tell you the title of my book. So yeah, if you go to Asian countries, they know to parasite cleanse every 6 to 12 months. It's just something they do. They actually take a pharmaceutical in some countries to do that. So over here in the US, we think things like, oh, we're a first world country. We don't have parasites. Like our food supply is good or something here anymore.
No, there's all sorts of crap in everything. There's crap in the crap in the crap.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So,
I watch Instagram.
You see what people come up with there.
It's all true.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
It's all true. Yeah. It's no misinformation at all.
None whatsoever.
None.
It's a nonfiction platform.
Right. Yes. So that's the thing is, for me, it's like, if you're going to live in this toxic of a society, it is wise to look at how you can keep your body at peak performance. And for me, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to do a detox all the time. Well, no, it's not a bad idea. But yeah, should you make sure you can go to the bathroom, you can sweat, your liver's working properly, you can detox caffeine, you can go on a fast without getting homicidal or hangry. you can.
I've gone 3 days and I wanted to kill babies. It was not okay.
I'm telling you, see the hangriness. I'm telling you, people be like, I want to kill everybody. Yeah, I know. I'm like, man, your liver's in trouble.
Yeah.
So yeah, these things should be looked at. If you're starting to block up like that, it's only a matter of time before you're sick. So yeah.
So I live in the space of, you're really sick. I'm sorry you got here. How can it suck less? Right. And it's a very different than try to not die, which is a whole other thing too. Like, I feel like prevention is a fancy word that means nothing these days. What can you really prevent? Car ownership. There you go. Just don't ever buy a car and you will never be a car owner.
Yeah.
That's true prevention. Pet ownership. I want to talk about your dog because he pops up in everything I read about you.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to be a pet owner, that's prevention.
Yeah. We can't even prevent pregnancy half the time.
I know. But I mean, what can you do? Again, it's all about what is the realistic way to live as a human in America, on Earth, anywhere where you can't escape. And now these stupid data farms are sucking up all the water and like they're the next version of the oil rigs.
I know. And I feel really sorry for people because some people just can't leave.
Right.
They don't have the means to get out. And it's really terrible. And they don't have the means for expensive biohacks. And I don't want to be one of those doctors that says you have to have all this nonsense to heal, because you don't.
Go methylate yourself to death.
Yeah, you don't. You know what you really need? The best doctors in the world are a little bit of sunlight every day. Really good, deep, restorative sleep where you don't feel like you got hit by a bus in the morning.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's Huberman.
Yeah.
Basic Huberman. Get some sun.
It's like sunlight, eat healthy
touch the
food
grass.
that comes from the earth. Yeah. Touch the grass. Go out to the ocean and the sea if you can. If I could give everyone a doctor's prescription pad that says go to the beach for 3 months or go on a camping trip for 3 months, a lot of people would feel a whole lot better.
What are your thoughts on grounding sheets?
My
dad's 80. He's like, I found a grounding sheet. I think it makes my back better. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it might.
Yeah.
It's definitely helping with the reflux of electrons. And we are electric beings as witnessed by EKGs and EEGs. So, we do need a negative charge, which is, that's what grounding does. We have the guy who discovered this won the Nobel Peace Prize. So, yes.
There's something there.
Yeah. I mean, do I think it's like the magic pill? No, I don't. There's not a magic pill for everybody. Listen, medicine would be real easy if I could give everyone the same recipe and they got better. That'd be real great. But everyone's bio-individual and unique. Yep. And you can have a certain maybe roadmap of what order you do things in. But man, you got to tweak stuff. You think everybody's the same? That's the art of medicine.
So patient advocacy, again, jargon term means nothing these days, but I feel compelled to include physicians, practitioners, medical professionals underneath advocacy, because you guys are burned out at the same time. You left, you're doing your own thing now. The expatriated independent practitioner world is booming for all the right and wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Independent concierge medicine is a thing that shouldn't exist right now because it's more of a Hatfield-McCoy and haves and have-nots. Mm-hmm. But I have a lot of friends that are doctors and you're just people. At 3 a.m, you got kids, you got these things going on, got a boyfriend named Matt, whatever it is, right? What is your advice, if there is any sort of not cat poster platitude towards this? If you're a practicing physician and you're getting crushed by EMRs and paperwork and trying to practice Hippocrates and have to follow these rules, you have any sanity strategy for them?
It's really hard. I mean, hospitalists burn out a lot, and I think surgeons burn out a lot. But really, if it's tugging at your heartstrings, you got to listen to what's best for you. You got to, if you're out there and you're eating like hospital nonsense food, you're skipping meals, your blood sugar's haywire, and you're sitting here telling people to get their blood sugar in check, you got to be the example. And so if you're a doctor out there that's not healthy, you're not eating right, you're not getting your steps in, you're really, you're miserable, you're stressed out, you don't know how to see your way out, I feel for you because I was there. I was absolutely there. And I wasn't healthy either at the time. My hormones were a mess. And so I think if we really want to take care of people, the doctors have to really start taking care of themselves first. And so, maybe you guys look at, I know you have jobs and families and bills, but maybe you look at other ways to get another education sometimes. Maybe you look at functional medicine, studying that at the Institute of Functional Medicine, or it depends on if the doctor wants to stay. Do they want to stay in the conventional medical system? Do they want out?
Right.
So
while their hospital closes because of private equity.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So if their hospital closes and they want something else, that, if you don't want to be in the conventional medical system, there is a way out, because I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. But, I have to be honest, I didn't have a family or kids, so I could bounce.
Yogi Berra said if life were easy, we'd all do it.
It's hard. Yeah, it's very difficult. I feel for the doctors so much because their hands are tied. They're being told by the hospital administrators what to do. They really don't have independence and freedom out there anymore. We do not. And I hate to say it, but a lot of times the hospitals relegate us to button pushing minions. I hate to say that, but it's true.
I don't want to end on a low note. What's a high note?
A high note. The high note is that I was not happy. I was really sick, and I was not the person that I wanted to be practicing medicine when I left the hospital. And if you're out there as a doctor and you're listening and you want to figure out a way to do it, there is a way to leave. There is a way to get another education. You're never too old to learn new tricks. And, reach out if they have questions. I would love to help other doctors. That's part of my mission, is to bring the other medical doctors to root cause medicine and really get to the root cause and chronic health for people.
Well, everything you want to know but we're afraid to ask about Dr. Jess will be in the show notes. It's our lightning round. This closes out the show.
Yes.
And I do this with every guest. I ask my AI, not Skynet, I ask my AI a couple of questions about you. I feed it information. I talk to it about how I feel about why you're on the show. And I ask it one specific question of every guest.
Okay.
If you were a Netflix series, what 3 pop culture icons from TV, film, Broadway, art, music would embody your character? And survey says you are...
Oh, I'm in suspense.
Erin Brockovich, not because of the movie glamour, but because she represents the outsider energy that says the official file missed the human damage. Dr. Jess has the same instinct toward hidden exposure, dismissed symptoms, and people being told the problem lives in their head.
I love that one.
You are Dana Scully of The X-Files.
My mom loved that show.
The obvious joke says Dr. Jess plays Mulder because of mold, parasites, toxins, and mystery illnesses. But the more interesting version says she still wants Scully's credibility, medical training, evidence, language, skepticism toward the official answers, and a career spent standing near the weird door.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Okay, I like it so far.
And you're Winona Ryder from Reality Bites. Gen X, restlessness, distrust of a polished institution, allergic reaction to packaged adulthood, and a personal brand built around refusing the default script. There's a little, I tried your system and I have notes in the whole arc.
I like it. They got my rebel vibe.
You are. Erin Brockovich, Dana Scully, and Winona Ryder.
I like it.
Says my Skynet.
It's pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yes. This is, by the way, this is your souvenir for the show.
Thank you so much, Matt. Yeah.
All right. Dr. Jess Peatross. What is GP? I know MD.
Oh, it's Gerson practitioner, but yes. So that's an old one. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, the internet functional founder of Kill, Bind, Sweat Method. Be your own best doctor. What else am I missing?
Wellness Plus, which is my do-it-yourself platform that people can sign up for and teach themselves how to be their own best doctor. I also have a virtual clinic where I help people heal. It's got an 8-month wait list, but I have 3 doctors underneath me that work underneath me. And I have a supplement company called Aegis Formulas.
All that in the show notes. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
All righty, friends. See you back next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Out of Patience with Matthew Zachary is a production of Matthew Zachary Worldwide. The executive producer is Matthew Zachary. It is mixed and edited by Kyle Moore. If you like the show, ratings and reviews are always welcome wherever you get your podcasts. If you have guest suggestions or would like to learn more about sponsorship opportunities, email podcast@matthewzachary.com. For more information about Matthew Zachary and Matthew Zachary Worldwide, visit matthewzachary.com.